ladies, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about a pretty interesting topic, I think. And that is why men don't want to get married. Why men don't believe in marriage anymore. Well, this is not true. So we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down and see who are the men that are having issues with this. And most importantly, what you can do with this. So men, they are a human being, popular to what some people might think. They are lovely human beings, literally just like you and me. They have feelings, they grew up in a family, they grew up from a mom and a dad, right? So just like you and me, men do dream about getting married. Men dream about finding the love of their life. And they also dream about getting married and having a happy family. Now, that is healthy men. But just as healthy women want that too. Okay, don't get all offended. Let's talk about the female counterpart for a second. The women that overtly don't believe in marriage are typically women that have gone through a few divorces or some really bad situations, okay? Maybe they grew up in a home where there wasn't a marriage. Maybe they grew up in a dysfunctional family. Maybe they had a man hurt them. I think it's very, very rare the woman that grew up in a totally happy family with mom and dad married, and a woman that is, occasionally single or young. It's very rare to find. I've never met a woman that grew up in a healthy environment and that was young and without major issues that didn't want to get married. My clients and students, they are women in their 30s and 40s typically, some in their 20s, but they're women who they want to get married. But anyway, what I'm saying is just like a woman who doesn't believe in marriage typically is because she had a bad experience around it. It's the same thing for men. If a man grew up in a very, very dysfunctional family where his parents divorced, where there was a really, really bad dynamic, maybe abuse, maybe aggression, something. Or if he recently got divorced and had a pretty sour experience about it, or it's just too recent. If he has been conned by a woman, kind of like he was maybe with someone who only wanted his money and nothing else and left. If he has gone through traumatic stuff, this is the type of men that will not want to get married. Same as a woman. Now, there's also the scenario, and what the most common actually is that he's just not ready. He's not ready because he's too young. And too young means in his 20s or in his 30s. And the reason why I say in his 30s is because sometimes men in their 30s it happens that they're not making enough money where they feel like they can provide and protect a family. So he's just not going there at that time. He's not there with his career yet. So he's not looking for marriage at that point in time. He's not ready. Okay? And he feels strongly about that. So what happens then? Another scenario, and again, I want you to understand that a biological need of a man that is healthy is to provide and protect you. A man that is healthy will want to be a hero. The children, the male children that dream about, they're playing with heroes and they love superheroes. Like, this is the nature of a man. This is his human nature, okay? To want to be the hero of his family, of his woman, okay? His woman is whoever he marries. That is his woman, who he claimed via marriage. Okay, so if he had trauma in his early life, any kind of trauma, and this can be abuse of any kind, it can be whatever trauma that happened in his childhood or in his teenage years, most importantly childhood, he will not have a natural, healthy human nature at that moment until he can heal that and get over that and grow out of it or do the inner work for it. So a guy that is not ready to provide financially for you, aka his family, will not be into marriage at that point in time. So a guy in his 20s and early 30s is very likely not marriage material. There's exceptions, but this is the norm. Okay, now if he's in his 40s, 50s, and still doesn't have the ability to provide for you and your family, then he's not going to be into marriage. AKA, a broke guy will likely be one of those guys that don't want to get married. And that's good information for you to know. Okay. So it's very similar with women, okay? They're not that different with women in that regard. Now, here's a practical side for you. What you can do about this topic. You need to know your audience. You need to, the people you date, like, you need to know who you're dating. Are you dating a young man? Are you dating a guy that doesn't have his career together? Are you dating a man who has trauma? And how you can know this is same as with women, right? Like, if they're very cynical and are skeptical of all these things and come into the dating scene kind of like defensive, kind of like, his energy is a little, skeptical and defensive, you'll know that very likely he has some trauma, but nobody has time for that. So we're not interested in dating that kind of people. Okay. So also, if you as a female are really forward and aggressive and unpleasant about the topic, and mind you, in my practice, I teach you to own your desire of wanting to be married and be unapologetic about it. In fact, that is the first filter that we use to see who we go on in our rotation. If you're, for example, online dating, it'll be specified that you are looking for marriage. That's when you're online dating, when you're first meeting someone, like, in some casual way, or not even, in some lighthearted way, you might mention that your purpose of dating is to get married. And let me just say that one of the first things that men ask you when you're dating him is, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? Are you looking for a good time? What are you looking for? They want to know. So when you own your desire and are unapologetic about it, aka when you're confident about what you are about and about you, because your desire is you. So when you are confident about saying, you know what, I am looking for Prince Charming, I am looking for my future husband, right? AKA, I'm not a quick meal for you. This is a first filter to rule out anyone that is not looking for that. Okay? Because who are the people that are Googling this term, this subject? Who are the people in YouTube that are looking for this very answer? Or the majority of them. Why men don't want to be married? That is because probably you were dating someone and then you found out that they don't want to be married. Or you got together as a boy, as a girlfriend with someone. Like you were seeing someone for a long time, or for too long for you, for your taste. And they were a waste of your time. And you're thinking that all men don't want to be married. So here the trick is that you rule out and filter out anyone that is not looking for what you're looking. Logical, right? Logical, and it's going to avoid all this time wasting and avoid heartbreak from you. Now, you never want to be aggressive. You never want to be masculine about it, like defensive about it and kind of entitled about the topic. Kind of like, hey, I just met you, so I need to know, are you looking for marriage, or are you looking for a good time? I need to know now. So if you're like that, like really aggressive and like with this kind of vibe about it, well, even the men that want to get married and are looking for that, which are actually the majority or a good chunk of them, they'll be like, yeah, no, thanks, I'm not ready for that right now, right? So if you're off-putting, he might say that to you. Now, let's segue into that. So the man that didn't want to marry you, the next day will marry someone else. And and it's very common. So let's talk about them. You were with someone for 2 years and he was your boyfriend and he wouldn't move forward. And then somehow you end up breaking up because you gave him a direct ultimatum. And next thing you know, he's engaged like a month after. The guy that didn't want to marry you, he's engaged a month after and gets married like soon after. Well, were you the dream girl? Now, I can't remember if I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but if I didn't say this, men are looking for one of two things, typically. They are looking for their dream girl. They're looking for the dream woman. You know how there's diamonds and jewelry, and you know how there's like all these like fancy things like diamonds. They are made for the dream woman. That's why they exist, so that a man can buy it for you. So the men, they dream about spending their money on the woman that is worthy of that. And who is a woman that is worthy of that? The woman that says she is, not says it, but with her energy. The woman that establishes that she is that woman that gets that stuff. Okay, so the men are either looking for their dream girl, they're going out in the world just like you, dreaming about the dream woman, or along the way, they're also looking for the low-hanging fruit. Along the way, they will take the low-hanging fruit. If somebody throws at them some free sex, some low-hanging fruit, he'll take it. So he's also looking for a quick meal, if just because it's there. So if you gave him all this stuff for free, why would he think you're worthy of more? You didn't think you were worthy of more. Why would he think you're worthy of more? So you didn't think you were worthy of having a ring. Why would he think you are? Just help me understand. And help yourself understand, like, why would he value you more than you value yourself? Okay? So this is why we use courtship dating. This is why we use circular dating or rotational dating, whatever you want to call it. Because we're not out there giving stuff for free. We're looking for someone who sees us as the queen, princess, goddess that he marries. Like I'm I'm 39, I've already been married for almost 13 years. So, but if I was dating, and this is what we teach in my courses, what we teach in my practice, is we're out there putting ourselves, meeting suitors or candidates that want, first of all, what we want. And secondly, we will only be available for those who, available in the sense of like any sort of commitment, for those who want to be committed to us. Commitment means a real commitment, not like whatever, lip service or whatever you want to call it, not some fluff. Commitment means he is pledging his assets to you and your unborn children, even your born children if you have any. Commitment means I am all in with everything that I am. Okay, so men, they want this too. They want that from you. They want that for themselves. Question is, are they ready? Now, again, you may not be a match. So just like you have your list of values that you look for in a suitable mate, he will also have a list of what he looks for. Most importantly, you want to be the reciprocal of the type of man that you are looking for. So anyway, ladies, don't believe that men don't want to get married. Oh, they do. Trust me, they do. Even more than women, probably. If they are healthy, if they're healthy, because if they just went through major trauma in a previous relationship, or if they went through trauma in earlier in life or at any point in time where they view marriage as garbage because the people around him were a massive wreck in marriages, or if his own marriage was a wreck. So this is another point. Don't blame marriage for what you did. Okay, so if marriage has nothing to do with train wrecks or suffering, it's not marriage itself. It's a dynamic. It's how you played your cards, how you played your role in the dynamic. And of course, takes two to tango. So it's both of you, right? But don't blame that. Don't blame the marriage for what you guys did. Okay. So ladies, yeah, no, the good news is that Prince Charming is out there and he's looking for you if you're Princess Charming. So go for it. If this, and mind you, if you are on the fence about the whole marriage topic, oh, kind of like, it's not a requirement for me, like, if it happens, okay, you know, think again, because you are likely to work out through the issues and get the queen treatment that you need, and your children get the respect that they are entitled to. Your unborn children are the children that are, you know, coming. They are entitled to your respect, and part of that comes with an all-in, full-blown commitment. Okay, a commitment with everything that you are, with everything that he is, both the spiritual and the physical aspects, like money, like assets, like legal stuff. So get clear on your own desires, get clear on your own values. If you are looking for a man that has them too, and you will find them whenever you get clear on your own values. Now, I teach you to rule out men that are not ready, that are unhealthy. We go deep into that in my courtship for marriage course that is coming out. So subscribe, sign up for the email list where you'll see the launch discount and the launch date whenever it comes, in the short term here. So if that's something that you're interested in, so let me know in the comments, ladies, what you think about this topic, because I mean, you probably Googled, why men don't want to get married, but they do. Okay, so yeah, ladies, that's it for now, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.